All right. Welcome back. We are back. This is episode 15, boys.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. We took a week off. We had a lot going on last week. Cross out of town. Chewy's got a busted leg.
I had a family stuff the week before that.
Yeah.
I think it's been 3 weeks since I've been filmed.
Yeah, no, well.
So our 10,000th viewers are going to be so disappointed.
Well, me and Kraus did an episode 2 weeks ago, so we've only missed 1 week.
It's been 3.
Yeah. How has it
We had an 800,000 reach viral post.
We did.
We'll have to talk about
I
that.
think more. I think it's,
Yeah.
Is it crested more than that?
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a little running flex thing for me, a little humble brag that I can kind of do a little bit.
So, backstory here. We're like in Mayday, all hands on deck mode last week because Kraus is out and Chewy was broken, and it was just me kind of running around doing what I could to help. And Trav comes in and decides to just, randomly drop a post about some mistake he made with some sleeves. And sure enough, it gets 800,000 reach. And the next thing you know, we have like 400 to 500 orders of sleeves coming in when we're in the middle of trying to just survive. No, Trav does not care at all.
You got to put up that little,
we
we need to make a meme, an internal meme repository for us. There's one of Alex just going like this. That's all we need. Just clip that.
Just
make it stop. Just make it stop.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Yeah.
All right, so today, the big news over the weekend, we've got some market manipulation to cover. The Charizard and Mega Gengar from Ascended, getting a lot of...
Ascended Hero ETBs.
Oh, ETBs too, so yeah, we'll have to talk about that. And then what I want to talk about with you guys a little bit is like collector apps, how you should track your collection, if you should use those apps, if you should base pricing off those apps, why maybe some people don't. We'll talk about that a little bit, and then we got Tinker Time at the end to wrap it up, so let's get into it. All right, so who wants to start us off? We want to start at the Charizard, Gengar, ETBs?
Gengar. Let's talk about the Gengar single card.
Okay.
I want to pose some questions. I know you're leading this, Jack, but let me pose some questions here.
You go for it.
Would you guys say that with the advancement of AI, the speed of AI, the whole idea that software engineers in the future aren't really going to be a job type, you're basically going to be like a prompt manager and or, quality control person, that the speed of development is faster?
Development?
Yeah, just like people developing software. Is the speed of development fast? Is software engineering a hindrance on being able to get features out the door for your consumers? Like before, the barrier to entry was that you had to have a capable software engineering team. Creating code was slow. For production level companies that are enterprise level, you want to do it slowly for you don't break things. And so
with AI now, I'd say no.
Yeah, with AI now, I'm kind of fishing here. I'm like the attorney speak of leading the witness.
I think it's pretty easy for an average Joe to just pick up some AI and run with it. No?
Pause. To add into that, I think if you're trying to go lean and fast and you're not hiring a classic, full stack developer to do something inside of your organization, or you cut back your suite of developers, potentially an oversight that a manager or a decision maker would have is the importance of quality control and checking. And so one of the things that my software developer friends communicate is as they're coding, they're consistently trying to check for problems. And so I'm just thinking of a mistake I would make if I was going to go code something. I'm not going to make a prompt that says, go run 10 million instances of this code to see where it breaks. I'm just going to make sure it works for the majority use case of what I've got, and then I'm going to launch it.
Yeah, so that's the iteration. You go for speed of iteration, knowing that you know, if you're going to push 10 or 15 things out the door, you shipping all of that code is going to have more of a net benefit holistically than one of the 15 items breaking and then you being able to fix it very, very, very quickly.
Correct.
Because there's the idea that, you know, things are going to break, and it's just how quickly can you course correct when things break. Does the fear of things breaking slow you down so that you're a snail versus, hey, we need to get features out there, polish things up, push new code, protect our customers? That's the goal and the mandate. So we're going to actually make some messes sometimes.
Yeah.
But as a result of making those messes, we can fix them pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I think in the current business environment inside of the United States, you are rewarded for speed.
Speed, yeah.
You're not rewarded. You're not rewarded for having a 100% great product that is fourth or fifth to market.
Yeah.
You're rewarded for having the product to market first, even if it's. I mean, look at any video game, right? They have day one patches on almost all the video games that are big AAA rated or whatever, right? So speed is the most important thing.
Yeah, so I led the witness with this, which is basically I wanted to make a point, and for you guys watching, you're gonna be like, dude, what is he even talking? How does it have to do with the Gengar thing? This boggles my mind how this could even be something that is able to happen with basic arithmetic math that could be layered in as a basic fail-safe. It's like 4 lines of code that you could push out to prevent outliers from updating your market price. So TCGPLAYER, they have a market price, right? It's X dollars. It's some sort of formula they use that's a time decay based off of sales recency and sales volume, and they take those 2 variables and they weight it into the actual current market price that's shown. So when you put up what the Gengar is looking at and you look at the timeline of the massive fall off and you see the sales history that people have identified, and you can see how that sales history that is 5 times lower, you know, it's 80% lower than what the actual market price is, and you can see how those sales are weighting down from a market manipulation standpoint. It's unfathomable to me that there's not a simple, if most recent sale was more than 50% lower than current market price, disregard that sale from our TCGPLAYER algorithm for high velocity items that sell more than 2 items a day. You know, like you could make the argument that, hey, a Gold Star Rayquaza that doesn't even have any near mint listings, if there hasn't been a sale for a year, then if the market price on the Gold Star Rayquaza is 1,000 and a new sale is 500, well, there's no sales history in a year, so you have to include that. But any item that has like 2 sales a day, 5 sales a day, that has heavy velocity, it's just a simple mean. It's just a simple math formula to know that this is an outlier. How does a multi-million-dollar organization that, with the advancement of AI, not have some sort of filter in place that's able to detect this? And they do it to themselves because TCGPLAYER, you allow foreign listers on English products. You know how many listings that you can go to right now where it's a listing for a Gengar, Ascended Heroes, and then you've got slabs, you've got singles, you've got foreign cards, you've got packs. You go to a booster box listing and you're allowing a 36-pack loose, or you're going to, I mean, we can find 100 examples of listing quality where they're allowing. And now it's like the Wild West. Like if you want to be an auction platform like your parent company eBay, be an auction platform. But don't allow 50 different listing types that exist on a product item that has nothing to do with the product item. And at the same time that you allow that, not have the tools in place to correct what market price is supposed to be. Because this whole problem that we're revealing, it's 100% a problem on all the other products out there where they're not even the right product tied to the right category. Like if you tell I'm Pat, like this is silly. It's silly.
This goes to what Kraus was saying about ETBs. Also, at the same time, go ahead, Kraus. You thought you wanted.
We are going to beat this horse. It's going to be a bloody pulp. So here's the thing that you can do. You can go to TCGPLAYER for this card, the Mega Gengar, and you can click on View More Data. I think you have to have a login.
You see 5 unless you have a login.
Yep. Okay. And so then from there, you can click on Filter Sales, and you can look at listing type, show all listings, show only listings with photos, which is usually the out that someone who is selling a non-English version card will use. They'll put the photo there. right? And then I clicked on do not show listings with photos. And then you click on view sales and it shows you a certain amount. You can keep clicking until it gives you the full 90-day amount, which is then listed on the 3-month snapshot. Low sale price $230, high sale price $28.99, average daily sold 157, total sold, average daily sold 2, total sold. So I have this in a spreadsheet. The total retail value of all 157 Gengars sold without a photo in the listing is $170,000, $621. $170,621.93. So if you divide that, just the easy, simple.
Just the average.
Just the average. No recency, no nothing, is $1,086.76.
And that includes all those outlier sales?
Correct.
Yep.
That includes everything. Now, when Jack in post shows this, that this weekend, the average dropped down to 928, there are 2 sales of $489. There are 4 sales of $230 that are recorded inside of this. So 6 of the sales are sub $500, right? So if you take those out, right, Trav, 6 sales on 157 that are almost 2 standard deviations away. What do you think that? What do you think?
Was there only 6 sales? I thought there was a lot more.
There are a lot more with photos.
Okay.
That are different.
I wonder, because I'm looking at the spike back up. I wonder if they've gone in here and they've cleaned up.
I think they have,
because I saw a lot more. I felt like than 6.
They had to have,
because on Saturday,
somebody manually went in to remove some of them, which kind of propped it back
check
up.
the Charizard too, though. Did they do the same thing? On the Charizard?
I'll check it in a second. We had this conversation going on because on Friday, one of our coworkers said, "Oh my gosh, the Gengar, the booster bundles have dropped the Gengar almost $500, right? Because there was one listed for $600 on TCGPLAYER." And I immediately grabbed the people that were working this weekend. I walked them through it. I said, "Hey, if this comes in and you're questioning, just text me, let me know." And we were able to see it on a couple different cards that rolled in that this was happening on. And what it looked like at the time, just very quickly, was the price of the non-photo listings that were being sold was very similar to Japanese or Korean pricing that was going on. And if you would have pivoted to see what eBay said the values of the cards were worth, it was where it was within a normal tolerance for what we were used to the card being worth. eBay's another thing. I'll come back to that in a second. But that being said, my text that I sent out was somebody's found some math loophole inside of the average formula and is exploiting it, and some tech's going to have to figure it out on Monday or Tuesday or Sunday or Monday or whatever the case may be.
The reason I let in with the whole AI thing and how fast code can be pushed and how somebody like us that basically has no software engineering experience, but we can just speak English. We can say what it is that we want and we can get back. I know you're going to have a lot of people that do software that's going to say, "Hey, AI provides slop code and all that," and we can have that debate, but with the right mindset, a mid-level engineer that works for TCGPLAYER, this should be fixable in a day. It's the problem is that they don't want to, they're not prioritizing it, or they're not allocating the resources. And what really frustrates me is that this is something that there are hundreds of vendors, thousands of sellers, there's collectibles, there are people that, like, TCGPLAYER has established themselves as the source of truth. They're like PSA for graded cards, right? You want to use PSA because PSA has the value. You rely on TCGPLAYER because TCGPLAYER is your signal source of truth. It's where you go. So that comes with responsibility. Mm-hmm. That's my view.
Whether you want it or not.
Yeah, that comes with some level of, oh, crap. As an organization, we've got tens of thousands of people that rely on us, not just for market price data, but for selling product that what we say is market price can't be manipulated by people to their own gain. And what do we do from an investment perspective to put the manpower and resources in to fix this for the consumer? It is inexcusable for me that today, in today's state where we're at, that they can allow and not put some simple if conditional statements in. Whether this is a Google spreadsheet or, JavaScript code behind the scenes that's actually firing to put this into your database, this is solvable. It's solvable so quickly. The fact that you don't have it is irresponsible, and you need to have it. And that's why I let in with, there's no excuse. You can't even tell me that the reason why you don't have it is because, it's too complicated and we don't have the software engineers. Maybe 5 years ago you could have that excuse. What's your excuse today? Like, literally can't have that. And so it's just frustrating as all get out for me that is even possible. It's also something that now that it's out there, it's going to be funny how they respond to this because, they should, if it was my company and I was running it, I would respond with a formal statement saying that we understand that this is happening. We've deployed engineers to work on this. We're going to be updating the algorithms that determine TCG market price. We know that protecting the value is important, right? Just dress up what the statement is and then put a patch in, because now that people know that this is out here, the fact that you could go spin up a TCG Player account on my behalf to list items so that I can buy them from you, exchange the value to drive the price lower so that other sellers now have to compete with me for the lowest listing price so I could get you to start selling your product at a cheaper price point, with my goal being that I want everybody else to sell the product lower so I can scoop in and buy all the product that's then sold lower. You see how much of a moral hazard this is?
Yeah.
Okay, pause.
It is a huge moral hazard.
What happened to Probstein? The guy that started his own
eBay auction.
There was a data leak on the back end, and they found out of the X amount of users, 75% of them were him and coworkers shill bidding, which is
eBay,
which on his own auction platform also. So it's not a. I have a belief that there's just nothing new under the sun, right? It just looks different for different platforms, and so this has been happening inside of eBay. Conspiracy, tinfoil hat wearing people have been talking about this forever, but they couldn't prove it with eBay. And then Probstein went off and did his own thing, and that data's out there. That's not like breaking news. It's been around for 6-9 months, where he had a auction platform. And there were bids that were going on that were all tied to 4 or 5 email addresses. All these bids were tied to just a couple different users for the same purpose of being able to upbid and get more value out of something. So once again, you have a moral hazard, which then, so same thing. Now you've shed some light onto it. Something else happened this weekend with cards that is along the same lines. Are you guys aware that eBay had a big DD denial of service or some hack went on?
No, I didn't hear about that.
A bunch of auctions that people had on to end on Sunday night or Monday morning ended with eBay, the platform, being down for 36 hours. So there were some people who do a really good job of this, and I don't have any, once again, this is not a moral hazard, where if someone has an auction up, you put a minimum bid on it, and it says, hey, reserve not met. So then you bid the minimum amount to get to the reserve, and then the site went down, and so a bunch of people didn't have true market economics on their cards and on their stuff, and the minimum bid went through, and that's now a binding contract. And so what does eBay do? Cancel all of the bids that happened and it's the same sort of thing. It's like
they would see that on their P&L for 365 days out of the year. You had 36 hours of auctions. I don't know the time frame, but let's say 36 hours, and you're going to refund all of it. That is a decent sized percentage of lost revenue. That, let's just assume that's not what they're going to do.
Yeah. So then all the sellers are pissed, and what are they going to do?
I've had plenty of auctions that I've won that the seller cancels.
Yeah.
It's like that's a whole separate conversation for a different segment on the contractual bounds of sellers honoring. The number of times I've won an auction and then had the seller turn around and relist that auction because they didn't get the price that they wanted.
Yeah, right.
And
they didn't want to pay the extra vig for a reserve.
It's like those sellers should be banned. They should be taken out back and shot.
But the market manipulation conversation feels similar to a higher level conversation that we're kind of peeking around here, which is, what is the responsibility?
TCG Player has a corporate responsibility to fix this. They have a corporate responsibility to invest the resources in, and it's so easy.
As the expert in the place, due to the amount of people that visit their site, no different than a car dealership or Walmart or a dentist or anything, has the responsibility to be the professional.
And the minute that there are people trying to abuse your platform for material gain, to manipulate data. Now, one of the things that we can't prove right now is intent. What's the intent? Who's doing it? What's the intent of why they're doing it, and how is it happening? It could be easily explained. To Josh's point, he said, hey, a seller could have had 20 Korean Ascended Hero things. He listed them as a fire sale. People on eBay know those they're selling for $400. They're listing them for $239, and you've got legitimate Korean sales. If that's the problem, don't allow Korean sales on an English product. You're not eBay.
Yeah, just ban it. Just ban the user.
You go right now. I mean, no, just have some sort of AI that can scrape through every single listing that detects that this is Korean product. If Korean, if Chinese, it's bad from a consumer. You know, I don't want to have to go to page 2 of your listings to find the right listings tied to the right category because you don't have classifications and indexing on your products, and you're allowing.
Yeah, and to clarify real quick, I mean, there is a filter for language.
But that doesn't change the listings.
Right, but it doesn't change the listings. I just want to clarify that.
Not when you're
for
under the
everybody
English
listening.
page. I mean, if you already go to the English version on, like right now, the very first listing on Gengar is a Korean Mega
Correct.
Gengar.
I was just gonna say it's right there.
Why is that by itself? You know, this Pokemon Go 123. He's on every listing as the lowest listing. He just that guy or that shop. He spammed out. He's got Korean sales. He's got Japanese and Chinese sales on like every single listing that you see. He'll have a foreign language card, so he's getting top visibility, top viewership. You see his shop over and over and over again. And if the answer is that sale is affecting market price, number one, it shouldn't be on there. Number two, that listing Korean has nothing to do with what I'm searching for. And so it's like, it's just so frustrating.
Yeah.
It's like, and I'm a guy that's on TCG Player a lot, right? Like we use it as a platform, and so other collectors in this space don't rely on TCG Player. So for you, you're like, well, hey, why are you getting so upset? Why are you getting so passionate? Well, because it matters. If you're in this hobby and you don't understand the implications of why this matters, if you understood it at the level that I understood it, you would be pissed too. And the fact that it is so easy of a solution to solve that you're not solving it is negligence on your part. And it's either, you know, you have a saying, Josh, that you say, what is it? Don't assume stupidity for negligence. It's like you either don't know that it's a problem, in which case you're an idiot and you shouldn't have your job, or you know that it's a problem and you're not mobilizing people, in which case that you don't have corporate responsibility. So either case, you shouldn't be in your position.
Yeah, there's a great sign or a great quote from the movie Casino. The scene is there's a broken machine, and the guy that's in charge of the slot machines is in front of Pacino's character, and Pacino says, "You're either in on it or you're too stupid. Either way, it doesn't matter." And then he takes care of business, right?
Yeah.
And so I was just testing some things. Ruler of the Black Flame, Japanese Obsidian Flames, right? SV3. The first 5 listings for Ruler of the Black Flame are Korean, and our buddies there.
And that's under a Go Pokemon Go guy?
Yeah,
he's everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude by himself is like blanketed lowest listing on almost every single listing that you'll see.
Yeah, and part of the challenge that I have, so you got this high level challenge. Hey, there is no Korean language option on TCG Player, right?
Then create a Korean option.
Pause. Hold on. Let me finish.
Yeah.
So if you're only selling Korean, your only outlet, this is how you get looped in, right? This is your loophole, is you're able to put a picture up and say, hey, it's Korean, etc. The difficulty with non-Japanese, non-English, even Chinese product, because there's a bunch of Chinese in the same vein that's being sold with photos, is the authenticity therein of what the product is. That's one of the reasons from a public standpoint that eBay, parent company, TCG Player, hasn't listed those items, whereas price charting is the same type of platform, but they do it differently because they're not selling on, well, they do, but they're aggregating results of eBay auctions. So they don't have to worry about authenticity, and they can pull out the language indicator there. So you can find 151 in Korean and Japanese and English listed on their site for a card. But this is it's just annoying. It's just bad. It's noise in your data when you go look at it.
And what's so silly about this is that it's not like eBay and TCG Player aren't owned by the same people. Yeah. I mean, if TCG Player is worried about lost revenue, it's just take that guy and direct him to eBay. Say, listen, you can't post a Korean posted on Japanese. It's not like that you guys have equalized the fees across both platforms.
Yeah.
It's not like that you've already handled the amount of revenue that you're going to earn. So why are you making it a bad experience for your consumers that are the lion's share of your revenue?
Yeah.
Just fix it. It's so easy.
Ascended Heroes Elite Trainer Box. I've got to get 3 full scrolls down to actually see an ETB, and
I've seen it before where it's like you're on page 2, if not 3.
Yeah.
And before you actually start seeing what the lowest listings are for the actual product.
yeah, and you have sleeves for sale. You have no packs, just pack sleeves.
Yeah.
Oh, no packs. Pack sleeves are promos. Only book, dice, coin, and book. Right? There's that.
This is the best example. This is just straight trash. That is the worst user experience that I have ever.
Will not have packs or promo. Includes promos, no packs. Just sell the promo card, right? Like there's an option for that. And then of course at the bottom here is a Korean Mega Dream booster
Now remember
box.
we said the casino example, either you're in on it
Yeah.
or you're incompetent. Scroll up to the top and look at their add to cart, their TCG Direct. On singles it's TCG Direct. This is different.
Yeah.
What's the lowest listing here?
165.
Compare that. So they have a 165 listing at the top. Compare that to what the actual lowest listing is. A lot of times they don't match. So you give a shortcut at the top of what the actual, lowest, preferred feature pick.
151 plus shipping.
How many listings before you get to that featured one?
So
see the seller's name on the feature one on the top.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
But that's the lowest listing, not the featured one.
That's the featured one.
Okay. How many listings are there between the actual legit listing
one.
and when the feature? Just one?
Just one,
Okay.
yeah.
So that one's not so bad. I've seen that way off too.
But that seller is a part of the Wizards Play Network and the Gold Star and something else, right?
A
50,000
lot of
plus
times that
sales.
things is for like TCG Player Direct where they're promoting, and for singles it's like that's the shortcut, but it's like $2 more expensive than what the lowest listing is.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if you're in on it, create the platform that you've got 2 pages of nonsense, allow that to proliferate all over the platform so that as a consumer, I just want to hit this add to cart button, but really I'm paying 30% more than what I otherwise could. And so that's kind of like, I can't imagine that somebody would intentfully want to obscure the user experience specifically for that, so I can't believe that's the case. But it's just another byproduct.
So the next thing we wanted to cover was collecting apps and how they price their cards and whether or not you should look at that pricing versus TCG Player versus eBay versus other places. My collector app says this, TCG Player says that. Why are card shops pricing it this way when my app says it should be this? What do you guys have to say about this?
Yeah, so collector, right? Like that's the main one.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Collector doesn't show most recent transactions. Collector will show
They don't have their own marketplace.
not that has enough data behind it. I think they might have
they
one,
have a marketplace
but I
that
don't
they're
think it has any volume on it. My difficulty with all of the apps are they're tied into the paid TCG Player API, and they're pulling down the TCG Player data. So if TCG Player data is bad, then it's going to be bad. So because of that, they try to build onto what the TCG Player data is with additional thought processes that include what Travis was talking about, like, hey, if the price moves over X percent, let's soften it because it's probably not accurate, or rises, stuff like that. And so in that, I mean, you got to use so many different quotes coming through my head from being old. Collector apps are a tool. You have to, just because you have the right tool doesn't mean you can do the job well. And so in my opinion, just like Credit Karma to your credit score, Collector is to the actual value of your portfolio. It gives you the best idea and direction and proxy, but it may be different depending on some of the specifics of what you have. And there's 2 or 3 things that are really easy here. If you put that you have an e-reader Pikachu in near mint condition, and when you take it into a card shop, it's in mod play or light play, that value is going to swing a whole bunch on a 20-year-old card. That's number one. Number two, if the data behind the app is not paying attention to where the market price is right now and has some sort of delay function on it, or softening of what the market is doing, it's going to overstate or understate if the market moves. The challenge that most people will have is they're not spending 50 to 60 hours a week in front of actual card values, right? So just because your app says this doesn't necessitate it to be true. So it's a proxy. It's a good idea. It gives you the best opportunity to understand the value of it. Just like houses. Zillow, whatever the price is on Zillow for a house doesn't mean that's the actual sales price. Just because Kelley Blue Book says that your car is worth this doesn't mean that it's worth that when you walk into a dealership. Just because Collector says that your Giratina V 168, whatever it is, 163, 168 out of Lost Origin is worth $700 doesn't necessarily mean that it's worth $700. Now on the flip of that, it doesn't mean it's worth $300. But the actual value of that is going to be determined by, the velocity and market sales and how many, what the last sold is, all of that, because the market moves so quickly and so fast that your local game store is going to want to be able to give you the most accurate price in the moment. And if the market goes down after they make the deal, you won. And if the market goes up, then you didn't win. It's a proxy. Collector apps are proxies. I think they're good to contain everything that you have. It's better than a spreadsheet because you're not in it 60 hours. Now, if you're in it in 60 hours, then you should be able to figure out how to pull up to the date market prices on all your stuff so you can access it from your phone.
Fair.
There's a level to this too. It's like if you were all seeing, all knowing, right? Like the all knowing eye, you're Sauron and Mordor. The amount of sales velocity globally on a particular card is way exponentially higher than what TCGPLAYER shows or what eBay sells. And so when I hear what's market price, well, there's a difference between on-demand market price. What can I sell the card for right now, this moment, this second? If I'm lowest listed on TCGPLAYER and the card has 2 sales a day, you'll probably sell that card within 12 to 14 hours. A lot, we are lowest listed, and when we list our stuff, and it's like within minutes, it sells. That's a separate market price than other market prices when you're not trying to liquidate super, super, super quickly. So what I mean by that is just here locally, how many, let's use the Gengar, for example. How many Gengars sold on TCGPLAYER this weekend versus how many Gengars sold in all the card shops throughout America versus how many Gengars sold at all the vendors and all the shows throughout America.
There's a show just a quarter mile down,
versus how many Gengars sold on all Facebook Marketplace swaps, right? Like the pillars of data and where you get your data from, we have such this jaded viewpoint of what market price is because we're relying, to what Josh's point, the proxy on a very, very, very small sliver of what market price data actually is. There's a fourth pillar to this, which is actually a big segment, but nobody talks about, and that's all the crypto sources. So the courtyards and there's one that starts with a P. So you're starting to have these various crypto-based blockchain, pack opening websites that they have marketplaces, and they actually have, marketplaces. Like you can actually buy them without actually ripping to a pack. So the only point I'm making is that there's like 4 or 5 different pillars of where you would get cards. If you were the all-seeing eye, back to that example, the right technical answer is that you aggregate all sales across all verticals, and that's the market price. Well, we don't know that. I mean, you have to use some level of proxy. And so the only thing that I would say is that when I go to a show and I'm looking to sell a card, I'm looking to sell it, and I'm willing to take 10% less than market price. Well, that's because I don't have to pay the 13% fee on TCGPLAYER. So market price on TCGPLAYER is normally oversized relative to what a seller would actually sell it for, because when you go to a show, you generally expect, hey, I can probably buy a card for 90%. And you have a lot of vendors that will say, "Oh, I hate that. Why does buyers assume?" Well, because I would just buy it on TCGPLAYER, right? Like I have protections, I got things like that. The reason you go to a show is you kind of generally assume that you're going to be able to deal. And a lot of vendors, like when we go to shows, we spent $80,000 last year at a show. We bought everything at 85 to 90%. Mm-hmm. So if that's the case, and if a show gets more sales velocity at scale than TCGPLAYER, why is the Gengar a $1,400 market price? Why is it not $1,280? Because we don't have the data. You don't know. Conceptually, I know that if I go to the show, I can get that card for much cheaper. But that requires me to put the work in. Same thing, eBay, generally speaking, eBay has about a 10 to 13% lower auction sale price than on-demand market price. And so if you're willing to sit in front of your computer and if you're willing to snipe auctions and put all the work in, you could probably find cards for cheaper than market price. It has to do with the amount of work you're willing to put in to get the card. And the great thing about this hobby is that because there's opportunities to arbitrage for those willing to put the work in, you can kind of vend. You can kind of make this a business. And so for me, market price on TCG is really just a proxy because there's no other good source out there that has the data. But internally, I know that's not the accurate market price because they get such a small sliver of sales velocity holistically.
Yeah,
So-
the other piece there that goes into market price is the amount of risk that you as the owner of the card, what level of risk are you willing to go into? If TCG Player says a card's value is $100, are you willing to meet somebody on Facebook Marketplace for $100? Or would you rather just walk into a card store and get 80? Or would you rather sell it on eBay and then have to deal with the shipping and then the negative reviews or the positive reviews or all of the stuff with a consumer, end user consumer, and get $85? Or are you willing to put it on TCG Player and have to build your reputation there and get $86 or whatever the case may be? It's also, what level of work are you willing to do? Once again, I'm sorry that I keep coming back to like credit and houses and cars, but car values typically have a MSRP and then they have a private party value, used cars have a retail value as determined by Edmunds, which is aggregated by a whole bunch of people selling cars, right? And then you have a private party value, and then you have a trade-in value. And it's once again, what level of risks, and if you're gonna buy at a discount, which would be the private party value, then you give up the guarantee or that the vehicle has been sold by a trustee dealership that has put it through an inspection or whatever. So there's effort all over the place. And Trav is right. What amount of effort are you willing to put in to get the maximum amount of money you want out of it? And then the final layer on top of that all is how rare is the card? How rare is the card? If you're sitting on a near mint shining Charizard, right? You don't have to sell it at a 10% discount to market because there's 6 of them, right? That are gonna swap hands every given month or whatever. But if you're sitting on, the question your answer was, there's 22 recorded sales of the Mega Gengar this past weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I guarantee you there's been 10 times that amount sold, if not 100 times that amount sold.
Correct.
Once you aggregate Facebook Marketplace, vending.
All the
so
shows.
It's like you're talking, 2,000 sales this weekend on the Mega Gengar, and you're making a market price determination on a data point that has 22. It's 1%. In this simulation we're doing, it's 1%. Oh, but that's the market price.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only number that we have to go off of. That's the single, and as a result of that, that goes back to my first point, your corporate responsibility TCG player, when you have magically inherited source of truth for capturing 1% of marketplace. Somehow you have 1% of marketplace, but you get all the credit authority. You need to do better at what actual marketplace is, because it's just, this hobby is unfortunately something that we don't have good awareness on what's happening outside of those platforms.
Yep.
And so,
All right, we're gonna before we get back to the TCG Player, we've got like no time left here.
I just want to quickly, you want to do Tinker Time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
let's talk about TCG Player more.
Let's do Tinker
I
Time.
got a fun Tinker Time today. Okay, we're gonna move on. Tinker Time. Cue the lasers.
I don't have it.
Cue the pew pew pews.
Of
Of course he doesn't have it. We're a mess today. All right.
If we have
You
time,
guys-
if we have time afterwards, I want to come back and get the follow up on your virtual pack buyout.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
We doing airplanes?
Fold those in half.
Hamburger or hot dog?
All right. So most of you guys
Hamburger or hot dog? Hamburger?
may or may not know this about me.
That's a real thing.
Hamburger or
I'm
hot
very into the artists of Pokemon, specifically the illustrators of Pokemon cards.
never heard
Kirigawa, T-Zero. I got to babysit the kindergartners over here. But so for today's Tinker Time, what we're going to do is you
Hamburger.
guys
Hot dog.
are each going to draw a Pokemon.
Yeah, this is gonna be
And you're
bad.
going to see if you can guess each other's drawings based on how well you did.
Can
Now,
I-
here's
can I
the
have a
catch.
reference?
The loser has to tattoo one of the other drawings on their body.
Deal.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. All right, so here's
Oh,
your
I need
Pokemon.
a pen, not a Sharpie. Sharpie, the lines are too great with Sharpies.
Here's your
Oh, okay.
Pokemon.
Okay.
Now you have 30 seconds
Never
each.
mind.
30 seconds, bro.
Yep, because that's all we have time for.
30 seconds. Okay, for each individual one.
For each individual one. Don't let Josh see it.
Oh,
He's
wait.
got to guess.
Oh shit! Did you see my card?
No. I have to draw 3?
On 3 separate sheets of paper.
No, you can do it on the same paper. You can draw them. No, not all 3 in 30 seconds. You do 1 per 30-second clip.
Hell, bro.
Haven't you ever been on like a game show?
No.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
All right, first card. Ready? Go. Time starts now. You're at 5 seconds. I'm gonna really put the pressure on these guys. Let them know. 10 seconds. No stick figures. Look how in depth they are and focused. Man, if I could just put a Sharpie and paper in front of these guys just to get through the first half of the podcast, that'd be great. And time. All right. Travis, show Josh yours and the camera. See if they can guess at home. That's pretty good.
Oh, dude, that's Dusknoir.
Boom. All right. 1 point for Josh. We'll put it up. All right. Josh.
Mine's not very good.
Victini.
Hey. Okay. Good job, guys. All right. All right. So here's the other side of this.
Pictionary.
Here, wait. Let's
person-
have everybody clown us. This was my reference.
Very nice.
Victini with the ears though kind of gives it away a little bit.
I thought you guys did great.
Yeah.
Now-
I thought we did better than what I expected.
Yeah.
Here's the other side of this. If you're the one that drew it and the other person can guess it, you get an extra point because you drew it so well.
Okay.
Okay?
So we're tied.
So you're tied. You're both at 3 points each.
Okay.
So you get 2 points if they guess it correctly because you drew it so well. You get 1 point for guessing the other person's
So
correct.
hold on. That I don't want to guess correctly then, even if I knew it. If my goal is to win.
Well, technically, yeah.
Okay, but we won't do that.
But
because,
yeah,
you know,
for the sake of...
I don't even-
it's not a competition.
I don't even think you know this Pokemon.
all right.
I probably don't.
Here goes round 2. Ready? Start. Look at how just focused they are. I love it. We got 15 seconds in. Ten seconds to go. And time. That's good, Trav. Show the camera.
It's Larvitar.
It is Larvitar.
Nice. That is good. All right, what you got, Kraus? Oh, he's yeah, that's good, but I don't know if he'll know it.
Sandaconda.
Nailed it!
Oh my gosh!
I
did not expect
I
it.
was gonna give you a hint that he's on a
You know,
that there's
Fuse
an
a strike altar is the only reason why I know
Yep.
that.
I'm gonna be real. I thought that was a Venipede.
Oh, okay, fair.
That's why I thought Trav may not know it. All right, this is the final round. Ben's ready, and start. Ten seconds in. We're cooking. And they are locked in. 10 seconds left. Time. Show the camera. Okay, that's pretty good.
I didn't get some of the features that really were needed.
I know what it is because I know the card, but we'll see if Kraus can get it.
Is it Man, I don't know. Meowth.
Oh,
It is Meowth.
Nice, nice. Okay.
shot in the dark.
Yep.
All right, Kraus, what we
If I
got?
would have done the eyes.
Okay, yeah,
Moltres.
Nailed it.
nice.
That's good.
3 for 3.
Well done, gentlemen. All right, tie game.
It's actually a fun game.
That was good.
Yeah, I thought
It's
you
a
guys would
drinking
have fun
game.
with that.
Yeah.
Well done,
The
guys.
30 seconds is the perfect amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Sharpie makes sense. That
That's
was
it.
good.
That's it for today.
Hey, wait. Do we have enough battery? I do want to ask about your
Yeah,
digital packs.
Nah, well, let's save it. Let's save it.
Save it?
Save
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
You're gonna get
next
Travis
week.
all upset again.
Next week, guys, we'll circle back and we'll talk.
So here's
about
what I want
the
him to do.
Digital packs.
I want you to clip me up a little hype video that is me just destroying TCG after. Like it's gonna be slam, bing, slam, bing, slam, bing, and that's gonna be the hype video for this episode.
Yeah. You want it slow motion?
Yeah,
Like
just,
widescreen.
yeah, just straight like boom, 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 and then what we'll do is
The booms too.
just
all right.
like I don't know, just savage. I just want savage.
say a piece. Say a
Yeah.
piece on TCG.
Just
I'll get
savage
some
mode,
heavy
and then
metal
we're gonna
flowing.
get banned from TCG Player for talking trash. No, it's just because I care. Just because I care.
Oh, it's Chewbacca. All right, guys. Catch you next week.